Welcome back to Itsmii Unlocked. It's your girl, Jasmine.
And I'm the man with the buttery voice, the number one choice to keep all the ladies moist, DJ Just the Facts. And today we're here with Romeo Mancini. Thanks for coming out.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you. So before we even started rolling, you were talking a little bit about your name.
Yeah.
And so fill us in on that again, because
Yeah, so...
how'd you get with this stage name?
Yeah, I'm a big boxing fan. So Mancini, it was one of my favorite boxers. It was like an Italian-American from Ohio. His name is Ray Boom Boom Mancini. It was one of the greatest, lightweight in the pro 90s, like between 80s and 90s. It was great boxer. So I always loved this style, and I don't know, that's why I picked it. He's also Italian, so
Yeah.
I'm Italian too, as you can tell. You can tell by my accent as well.
Yeah. So you're from Italy, born and raised there, or?
Born and raised. I moved here when I was like 27.
Okay.
So about like 10 years ago.
And what brought you here?
Well, probably, like the American dream, you know what I'm saying? And I was always since I was a kid, I was like, we look at America like, this great place, which it is, and I was like, I want to move there one day, and it's hard, it's not something that, it's not driving to Vegas, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So one day I was like, you know what? I remember I was working in Florence. I was freezing my ass off one day at the door. I was like, you know what? Fuck this weather. I gotta move. If I don't do it now, I will never do it. So I came here. I visit for a month, and after a month, I was like, oh my god, this is the place I want to be.
You came to LA?
Yeah, for a month. So many hot girls. I was like, that's the first thing. That was the first thing. So when I came here, I didn't know anybody, but my friend from New York was here for a little bit. His name is Rico Rodriguez. He used to be a former UFC heavyweight champion. So we were hanging out, and of course he loved pussy probably more than I do, which is like already like a big statement, you know what I'm saying? So we're like, the first 4 or 5 days, we were banging chicks left and right, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna move.
So wait, it's not like that in Italy? Are the girls a little bit more reserved?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I fucked a couple of girls in Italy as well, don't get me wrong, but here I was like, wow, is that easy?
They want to be romanced in Italy. It is a romantic place, Italy, so they probably want.
I like women here. I think they're more like, in that aspect, they're more like independent. They know what they want, and they go get it. You know what I'm saying? There's no in Italy. I mean, if you have many relationships or whatever, you're a whore. You know what I'm saying? We still have that thing that the girl is a slut, and the guy, if he fucks a lot of girls, is a slut maker. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's I like girls that they know what they want and they don't give a fuck. They go get it.
And it's a little harder out there for women to, because I mean, we have that here in certain places, but I think a lot of American girls don't give a fuck about. A lot of them don't. Which obviously it sounds like back in Italy, people are a little bit more worried about their reputation. It's maybe smaller. It's part of the old world, so maybe it's a little bit like
I mean, it's a different culture. I think like the fact that religion has to do a lot in our in our upbringing and whatnot. That's a big factor. You constantly people are constantly afraid of what people think. I never been like that. I can't care less.
Different breed.
Definitely. My family know what I do. I mean, as the part of my family that I care, what I'm saying? I don't have to call everybody and be like, hey, I fuck bitches, for money, you know what I'm saying? But my mom knows, she's understanding, and she's an old school woman.
Oh, wow.
She's, very religious and everything, but she's smart. She's an intelligent woman. She knows I'm happy.
Yeah.
She knows that I'm doing this for my future, and I'm making money, and so why not?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's very different out there, but I love it here. I love this country. I love it.
Well, how did you segue into porn though? Because you said you came out here, it was for a month. You were with your boy, y'all were fucking, and then how did it? Was it like I got to turn this into a career?
I'm good at this.
Yeah, like I'm talented.
Well, I think for, I don't know, but I think for every guy growing up, there's always that little dream in the back of your head, like, I wish I can fuck girls for money.
That's true.
Every guy loves porn
Thanks
and be
for
like,
letting me in. I didn't know.
God damn, I can be that guy. I wish it's either I wish I was that guy, or like, oh, look at that guy. I can do better, or something like that. Many of these people are like very delusional, but it's okay, But some of these people, they're like, like me included, they're like fucking stubborn, and when I like something, I'm obsessed. I'm like, fuck, I have to, it's a challenge, so I'm like, okay, when I moved there, I started like hanging out with like some, porn star or like retired porn star, and then that thing, porn started like, like going around in my head. I was like, wow, maybe I should do it. Because when I come here, I was like on a student visa. I was doing something else. And then after a little bit, I was like, maybe I should try. So I asked a couple of friends. I was like, hey, do you think you can hook me up? It's like, okay, I got a guy, like, I was like, all right. So they gave me the first scene was with Vince Voyer. Vince Voyer was a big time director, producer. I think also like a performer, but he was on his way out, of the industry. So I shot a couple of scenes with him, and then the rest is just like making connection. It was a little bit it was slow for me because in the process I also had to stop and fix my visa status.
Yeah.
So I had to take a break for a couple of years, and I've always I always do many things. Porn is not the only passion that I have. Like like I said before, I love boxing, MMA. I love cars, so I deal with cars a lot. But that's pretty much.
This is such an interesting perspective because I never really hear men talking about how they got in, and I know so many guys want to hear about how to get into the porn if they want to be a male actor.
Teach us how to get in.
Yeah, like they want to know how to go about it. They're like, I think maybe that's why there's sometimes a shortage. People are like, what the fuck do I do? Because you see advertisements a lot for women, but sometimes I don't think men. No,
we're not in high demand.
Well, it's one of those weird things. If I pull up my DMs on my Instagram, there's like probably like hundreds of messages like, "Hey, how can I want to be a porn star? How can you give me a shot?" Even people from like India or Brazil. I'm like, bro, how the fuck? Can you give me a job? How? You're in India, my brother.
I know you can't do that out there. You're gonna get some trouble.
You want to be like a performer on Fiverr? Or
Not on Fiverr.
But
oh my god.
It's really tricky because there's not really a way to get into the industry. It's really hard for someone to vouch. Like if a good friend come up to me and be like, hey, can you hook me up? For me, it's so hard to call the director and be like, oh, okay, I have a friend. And because they're going to ask me, okay, what did he shoot with? Nobody. All right, so that's a no.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, can you please give me a chance? It's hard. They won't tell you no. It's one of those things that you need experience but no one will hire you. So how are you gonna get an experience? And it's like you know, it's.
No, that makes sense. I think. Do you think that it's like now going to be a little bit easier with like content creator sites, like because men can go and say, "Hey, I've been making my own content."
Yeah, exactly. My advice is, hey, go and open an OnlyFans. Start shooting your.
It's me. It's
or
me.
It's me. It's me. It's just like OnlyFans, only better.
So let's scratch that. Do not open an OnlyFans. Right? Open it. It's me, and start like you know. I mean, you don't have a girl. Okay, start with solos. Solos, they have a lot of followers. There's a lot of fans that they want to see just solos, which is a great way to start, and it's a great way to build a fan base.
Yeah.
That fan base will bring you visibility, you know, will bring you some like, you know, kind of like respect, you know, if I can say that. And then in the process, visibility will give you maybe the chance to shoot with some girls and whatnot and get you connection, you know, but you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Being, you know, fucking around and being just waiting that someone knock on your door, because you waiting around that someone give you a chance, you have the same chance that somebody's gonna knock on your door and be like, hey, you want to be a performer? It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't, you know, you have to make it happen. Whatever it is, go there, make it happen. Start with a solo. Start, you know, with like trying to reach out. Try to be as polite as you can when you reach out. There's all like, you know, don't be that guy that, you know, DM porn star or like, you know, being like rude or harassing people. I want to fuck you. I want to do this. Nobody cares, you know, like there's no porn star that will care if you have a big dick, if you can fuck, you know, like there's millions of people that can do that. You know, girls, especially, you know, performers, they care about your content. You know, if you can shoot camera, great. You can shoot pictures, awesome. You have a good location to shoot, amazing. Those are like all good, you know, selling point. And you know, and then if you can perform, great. You're clean. You're a nice person. You're not a fucking creep. You know, you're not trying to get in, you know, like in a relationship with every girl you shoot with. All these things, you know, you also. Another problem is people that watch porn, they kind of like get tricked by, you know, our storyline. So people actually think that all these performers are just like, they will fuck anybody, anytime, you know? A lot of these girls, they love sex. But loving sex, that doesn't mean, you know, like, you're gonna like fuck just anybody. So, that being said, you know, like, you have to have a certain approach. You have to talk to these girls like professional, you know, I mean, and other things, you know, when you watch porn, you think, I mean, people ask me like, oh my God, you're so lucky you shot with that girl, is she single? Are you gonna date her? Are you gonna go out? I'm like, oh, why would I do that? I'm like, you know, we just shoot. That's it.
It's a job.
Yeah. You get on set, you know, introduce each other, you know, we do all the process and everything. And after we shoot the scene, we go separate ways. That's it. It's over. When after it comes, it's over. There's, you know, like when the camera is rolling, there's like sex. When the camera is not rolling, there's no sex. You know, it's not just like people having fun and partying, you know, it's not like that. It's a job.
It's a job.
It's just like, you know, whatever, you know.
And you wear a producer hat too. You also produce, right?
Yeah. I have 2 sites. The first one is bjraw.com. It's just mainly BJs. We includes like rimming, and all the com shots are facial, you know.
Perfect.
I have a big load. So that's my thing. So my signature is my big load.
Okay.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you know. Now you know.
So I love like facial because, first of all, facial I feel has become a little bit like the anal of the 90s. In the 90s, fucking a girl in the ass was pretty tough. Like, girl would be like, nah, you ain't getting that thing in my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, babe. And you get crazy. Come on, babe. Just the tip.
Just the
tip. No.
I played that game.
I mean, everybody has.
Oh my God.
And now I feel a lot of girls, they're like, with makeup and I don't know, like, their hair done. They're like, oh, can I come on your face? No. What? Everywhere but my face.
Because they got the lashes and extensions on. You'll have their lashes clubbed together.
Yeah.
I know a couple girls that told me
They
that.
pay for those lashes.
Yeah. And they got to get them removed.
It's
and
all
then
bad.
the person's like, what's in, why are they?
They got something about
You're
Mary.
Yeah.
So do you think that being an actor and transitioning into a producer, do you think that helps you, capture scenes differently or understand the game better or make better content?
Yeah, probably, I think being a performer, it helps in certain situations, especially like dealing with other performer, where they're coming from.
No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. and also, I mean, it's better like money wise, I mean, basically I'm a business owner, so
Perfect.
I just don't get paid, for performing. It's more like I'm thinking more like about my future than just like living like a day by day kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
Which is in the long run, in LA, it's
Yeah.
you have to start, like especially right now, everything is prices are going crazy.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Yeah, 100%. But do you also make a lot of, because you were saying solo content's great. Do you do a lot of solo content?
I don't do a lot of solos. I'm pretty busy, and so
He doesn't do solo. He comes on their face. That's what he's into.
yeah.
I know, but I'm sure, especially if on like content creator sites, like I'm sure there's a few people that just, like you said, they love to see those. I hear that from women too. Like people really love like the solo content.
Believe it or not, I've never been like a guy that jerk off a lot. So it's weird for me, to just.
So if you're
sit
horny, you're just like.
I
just
pull
gonna
up
look at
my
it.
phone
Oh my God.
and be like, "Hey, babe, what's up?"
He was in GQ magazine, right?
Oh yeah.
You know that, right? He can call anybody.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I heard Alex shared with that. Weren't you in
No, it was Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone?
Oh, Rolling Stone. That's what it was.
Oh.
I thought you said GQ. Okay.
Well, I did. Alex gave me the wrong info.
It was Rolling Stones. Yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
That I don't think that gave me any pussy.
But that was in Italy, right?
Yeah.
So is there like out there? How is like porn viewed? Because you said it's very religious
Taboo.
and stuff.
So it's like I said before, like a man that does that, I mean,
You're kind of badass.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like, and it sucks. I like it, but I wish, and I say this all the time, even in my interview, I wish the girls, they get the same respect. Probably they should get more respect.
Yeah.
Because in Italy, I mean, once you take that road, I mean, it's a lot of backlash. It's a lot of like, you get a lot of troubles, especially with your family. And I mean, and you're now making the same money that you're making here. So the performers in Europe are not getting paid, as much as they're,
here,
American girls are paid. So I feel like, I mean, you gotta have some big balls, bigger than a man. So I respect, every girl that does it, they don't do it for money.
Yeah.
Here, maybe, some girls, they just do it for money. And I think in the long run, it's not going to work. But, you can decide to be like, hey, you know what, I'm going to shoot, once in a while, just do it for the money. But over there, it's, if you do it for passion.
Do you shoot content in Italy too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've shot a few scene content and for the site as well. Yeah, I like when I go there. I like to shoot with European, girls,
Yeah.
But for me, what's weird? Like I was, I didn't go to Italy for a little while, for a few years. So when I went back, for me, it was so weird to have sex anytime. Because I'm so used to, to
Talking dirty? Talking dirty?
Yeah, even talking or
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
yeah.
So what would you say in Italian? What would you say to her?
Well, but when you're talking, you're obviously talking to the girl. You'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, come suck my cock.
How do you say that in Italian?
That could come in handy.
Suck my cock, succhiami il cazzo.
It sounds
Way
all,
better.
I mean, it sounds so
better.
like, but it sounds so romantic.
So when I've been living here for 10 years, so I kind of like think in English now. So when I have sex, when I had sex for the first time, with an Italian girl, I was like, oh my god, it's so weird, like saying these things, and you're so programmed. Like I'm so programmed to say certain things in English,
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, how do you say that in Italian? That was so weird.
Now you're a food guy, right? So tell us some. You're a passionate about the food. What do you get into, and do you use that in any of your scenes?
Food?
Yeah.
Well, no. Like
He's a cucumber.
no.
Oh, I thought you would be maybe like getting a watermelon.
No. What are you guys on? Are you guys drink? What do you guys drink?
I know.
And a watermelon.
When I worked in the like for a camp company, I remember seeing girls doing stuff like that, cucumbers, bananas inside,
No.
yeah, their partners would be using it on them.
No,
It's very like I didn't know if the food went into the sexual aspect, or like some people are like, you never did content with like where you were a feeder, like feeding somebody.
No.
No, would you do that?
No.
So what's your go-to food for you? What do you eat?
Well, I mean, I like Italian food a lot. I like sushi as well. The good thing about LA, there's so many cultures that you can, pretty much like, eat different food almost every day. I like Chinese food, Brazilian. I'm a foodie,
Yeah.
So I like to go restaurants and stuff. So I go different places almost every day.
Nice.
They don't have all that variety in Italy?
Not as much.
Because is Italy like, would you say it's like 90% Italian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
So
But
it's gonna
I mean,
be
trust me,
mostly
you're
like-
not gonna miss, like Chinese food.
I love Chinese food.
I love it too, but when you go to Italy, there's so many.
Oh, there's so many. So
like,
what's
the
something?
Food is so good that you're not gonna be
The
like,
scallopini.
oh, damn, I missed the spring
What's something
roll.
that's there that like when you come out here and you see like the Americanized Italian stuff? That's
Oh, it's totally different.
yeah.
The very first time I was in LA, my friend is like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you to a nice Italian restaurant."
Oh shit, that's
okay.
that's risky with an Italian.
Micheli's or Micheli's.
Oh, I know that place, and
Alright,
that's not
okay,
that
so
great.
it's good. I look at the menu, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't know any of these fucking any. I mean, it was like fettuccine salsa Alfredo or like chicken parmesan. I was like, what is that? Like salsa Alfredo. I was like, what the fuck is Alfredo? I don't know.
Yeah.
That place
don't have
isn't
that.
great. There's a place called the Smokehouse, and when I used to work at this bar in Toluca Lake, it was owned by this Italian guy from Massachusetts, where I'm from, and he used to be in the mob. He was
La Locha?
No. This I forget what it's called, the Red Door now in Riverside, but it used to be called something else. He was old when I met him, like really old, and he had cancer. And we just hit it off, and he started telling me about his life.
Yeah.
And he got put here on witness protection, and he was about to die soon.
Wow.
But he talked about the smokehouse and how Frank Sinatra and all of them would be down there. And he went by a different name now. He didn't tell me like his older name and stuff like that. But that used to be, it has that good vibe, but it's not. I mean, I'm sure if the food isn't going to compare, probably at least not now, because this was in like the 60s. And I think it was a little bit more closer to authentic. Now it's probably worse, but it has a great vibe.
I mean, when you say authentic, right?
Like meaning more.
Like, so give me an example of authentic Italian food.
Well,
if you
just
say,
from
if
mine.
you say meatball, I'm gonna.
No, I'm not saying meatball, and I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna say like. I'm not even. I know like there's a lot of veal involved and stuff like that I hate, but I'm getting this from somebody who is Italian. They're like, oh, it was good, because even here there's a struggle back east because there's so many like immigrants. I don't care if you're white, black, or whatever.
Yeah.
You meet so many people who it's like either their parents or grandparents are from there, so you have a lot of authentic like food, whether it's Italian, Greek, Cuban, whatever. So for him saying that, he was like, it used to be great when I came here. I used to go here a lot when I got here on witness protection, but now it's shit. But it still has a good vibe. Yeah. Like it's called Smokehouse. It's pretty like it has that mobster vibe. Like you go to it.
So is there a food or a drink that helps you perform or shoot big loads or anything like that? You don't have something.
I've always been like that.
Right before a scene?
Just blessed.
No, probably drink a lot of water, but not even like, I don't know what it is. It's just like, I think I'm blessed with that.
That's right.
So even if you come earlier, can you do that twice? Or do you have to wait? No.
I cannot do that twice.
Okay, but you can do that daily.
Yeah, daily, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, that is really impressive. And do you have any advice for men that struggle going, long rounds or second rounds or whatever?
I mean, I think that it's like sex is also like a lot of mental it's involved with sex. So especially for those guys that they can last long. They have to just, it's all about like, in their mind mostly. Yeah. Now, I don't want to get into technical things because I might be wrong, but there's a lot of guys, I'm not saying that everyone, but a lot of guys, they have some anxiety or stuff like that, you know. Matter of fact, there's a lot of guys that, they can perform, even if they take like Viagra or something. Yeah. Because it's mental, when you have anxiety, and the adrenaline in your body, you have adrenaline in your body. I mean, it will prevent, the blood from, going down. You know what I'm saying? It will send your blood, in your legs, first in your brain, because you have to think, and then in your legs and in your arms, because it's probably what you need, in case of emergency.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, the main thing is just like be relaxed,
Gotta be relaxed, gotta be confident.
And concentration.
Yeah.
Get that mind together.
Yeah. I mean, it's sometimes a lot of people, not just in sex, they overthink.
Yeah.
In everything in life, they're always overthinking, When I moved here, all my friends like, oh, how are you gonna do this? How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna do with the language? How are you gonna do? I don't know. I will figure it out.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. What do you mean? I did it. I'll go there and I'll figure it out.
I love that.
How are you gonna go get a job? Well, I don't know. I'll go there and I'll look for a job. What do you want me to say? Like, you want me to learn the language first, find a job first, find an apartment first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before moving. That's not going to happen. It's a process. It's a process, and in this process, imagine how much you're going to grow. Yeah. How much, all the learning process is beautiful.
Yeah, you got to jump in the pool to swim.
Yeah, fuck it. Whatever. You just do it and you figure it out.
Yeah.
That's I think this belong, to the old school, but you figure shit out. You want to do something, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just like I was saying before, people waiting for the opportunity. You create the opportunity. You know, there's no fortune involved. Like, you know, when people tell me, "Oh my God, you're so lucky." Why? Why am I lucky? Nobody fucking knocked on my door.
You went out and grabbed it.
I went and, you know, even after I shot my first scene, it's not like the guy's like, "Oh my God, you're, you know, you're assigned here, 25 scene a month here." No, that's not the way it works. I mean, people don't shoot that much, you know. So yeah, it could be like, okay, I'll give you 2-3 scenes a month, and you think you're gonna survive with 2-3 scenes a month?
No way.
You're new,
Yeah.
right? Let's say I'm new, and you know, we're using another like male performer that's being, you know, most companies use this male performer that's been performing for 10 years, right? What would you change?
Yeah.
Why would you take the chance and hire me, you know, and you know, instead of that guy, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to save $100, $200? Well, you know, I mean, usually, you know, you pay for what you get. So, I mean, yeah, you can take the chance, but that $200 might buy you in the ass, and then you lose like $1,000, maybe $1,500. Location, makeup, cancellation fees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times, first timer, they don't get a boy girl right away. They get a boy girl in case, you know, like can't perform, there's a backup, you know, and they can transform it in a boy girl.
Nice.
You know?
Oh,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah, you have someone with more experience that guides you, you know. I mean, if I had to vouch for someone, I would be like, okay, I'll shoot a BJ first. You know, if you can get a BJ, I'll give you like a boy girl, and then if you get it through the boy girl, I'll give you a boy girl. You know, that's what I will do. But I mean, you know right away. I mean, it's all people they have to understand. It doesn't matter how hard you fuck your girlfriend. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's more like you're in a restaurant, you know, and all of a sudden you stand up, you take your cock out, and you get hard. You do that, you're hired. I'll hire you. Like, if you don't give a fuck, if you can get hard like that, you know, you can zone out, you know, because all you have to do is zone out. People, I think, you know, I mean, you know, I think, you know, you can do that.
Yeah.
If you zone out, who cares? I mean, who cares what, I mean, of course you're going to get arrested, so don't do it.
don't interview that way.
Yeah.
But you get the point. It's, you know, it's an analogy. So.
I get that. I think a lot of people think, oh, I fuck all day, I do this, I'm good in bed. But it's a lot of pressure when you don't realize this is a real set, this is a professional job. There are lights, cameras, there's people on set, people are looking at you, and you have to perform. And then there might be, okay, stop for a second. And and then a lot of, I'm shocked, not shocked that they just work with a small pool of men. Yeah. Because it's just, it would be a headache.
And you said something very important. It's not even stopping a second. Sometimes you stop for like 10 minutes.
Ah, shit.
You know, and I don't think you can relate, so I'm gonna tell him. But once you get hard, and you know, and when I say like get hard, it's more like, you know, you're mentally ready. You know, let's forget about the actual, you know, the physical part. You know, so me getting ready, it's not me getting hard. Me getting ready, it's me mentally prepared and zoning out and getting into something that I'm doing. Just like when you're acting, or when you're like fighting. You know, it's not like, you know, you're not gonna win a fight with rage. You're gonna win a fight zoning out. Yeah, you know, people's gonna yell at you. You're gonna hear the other corner talking shit. You know, I mean, and you're, you know, getting punched. You have to zone out everything. Yeah. So when I get ready mentally. And then sometimes you're like, okay, so on set, usually, most people do stills first. So before the scene, let's say our scene is going to be like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever, and we have like 5 positions, okay? Most directors, they want those 5 positions, they want to take pictures first. Okay? Okay, so they're going to be, okay, you get hard, and you go through the position. Okay, let's start with the BJ. Okay, take a picture of the BJ. Then missionary, cowgirl, well, and so on and so forth. Since the concept, we fake the first the stills usually you fake with the how do you call it? But anyway, the lotion,
Yeah.
Once you get the stills, you ready for sex. Okay, so it's not my set, so I don't decide. I'm performing. If I'm performing, I'm hired. I don't decide when is the sex. It can be right away, but if the director say, okay, you guys take a break, relax. Some people, some directors are not performer. They don't understand, and I'm you can be like, you can explain it to them. It's it would be rude. But they're like, oh, okay, take your time, don't worry, chill. I'm like, no, bro, I'm ready right now. What do you mean chill out? I want to chill out after.
Yeah.
So, your 10 minutes is a long time to, so in that 10 minutes, you gotta keep yourself,
Yeah.
And the fucked up thing is, a lot of times in those 10 minutes, people are like joking and talking, they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
And the way I am, I don't really get in, in too much of a conversation. If you ask me something, I will say yes, no, but I don't want to cheat. That's not a good time for me to chit chat or laugh or joke. Yeah, because I'm in the zone. I'm in my zone. I'm like, we wouldn't like, you're having sex or you're about to have sex with your guy. You're not gonna break a joke. You're gonna be like, two guys walking a bar. You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. That's not a good time.
Yeah.
That's not a good.
You got your game face on.
You
got your game face on.
Yeah,
you're ready to go.
Your guy will look at you and be like, I see. You're retarded. And walk away, right? So, yeah, no.
Oh, my God, yes.
Definitely.
So how do you do that? If it's a 10-minute wait, are you like in the corner like Rocky? Like, okay.
No, usually me, but it's different.
They have fluffers, don't they?
No way. I wish. That was the 90s, my friend.
No more? That doesn't exist anymore.
Things have changed. Internet changed the whole game, my friend.
Huh.
A fluffer is somebody that keeps you hot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They get, like, back in the days, and maybe, eventually you guys can have some, like, older directors that can explain you the difference between, but I'll tell you real quick. Back in the days, there was, like, so much money before internet, that the production was huge. They had, like maybe 2-3 camera guys, the audio, 2 PAs, the fluffer. They will pay a girl, like, now they pay extra. Like, they will pay a girl, like, I don't know, like $500 to be a fluffer. So, I don't have to get hard. Like, hey, bitch, like, what I'm saying? Get me hard. Which is, I don't know. I mean, I'd rather, like, hey, I bring the tool. I know how to use it. I don't, I don't like that,
Yeah.
Sometimes girls are nice. Hey, do you want me to help you? I'm like, no,
Oh, that's good.
I'm good, because a lot of girls, they, rightfully, they wouldn't help you. You know, because some girls, they're like, some girls they're mean about it. Some girls, they're just like, okay, I'm ready. Some girls, they were like, oh my God, they get offended if you don't get hard. Like, oh my God, you don't get hard. I mean, like, bro, it's not that easy.
Oh God, I
You're
can see that.
beautiful,
Though.
but I mean,
oh my God, what do you do in that situation if somebody's like, what? Come on, it's me. I look good. Like,
no, that's why in my case, in the years, I found my own, like, little ritual where I zone out. And I don't want no help. I'm, like, I wait for the director and be like, okay, get ready. We're, about to go to sales. Okay, boom. Like, give me a minute. I'll get, I zone out, get hard. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
That's it. Then, like I said, sometimes you shoot with a girl that that you get along, that you're attracted. So maybe there was,
it's easier.
It's easier. There's a little bit playing
Chemistry.
before, chemistry. But mostly, you don't know the girls. You're not gonna, that's another thing for, like, first, the performers, the beginning. Don't expect the girl is gonna get you hard. Don't expect that you walk in and the girl's gonna be all over you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're not in a bar on Saturday night. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like maybe you're the hottest guy on earth.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit. Most of these girls, they're like, I'm not here. I'm not on a date.
Yeah.
I'm here to do my job, get paid, and bounce.
I mean, I think a lot of people need to hear that. And have you ever been on set with somebody that you didn't really find attractive?
Oh, yeah.
And was that difficult for you, or
No, because okay, my thing is, let's say I'm on set with a girl and I think she's not very pretty, right? I always find, which is, it's hard. I like women in general, like, so
Yeah.
it's not really hard. Usually personality turns me off more than their body or whatever.
yeah,
So if their personality stinks, that's a problem. But still, you're gonna make it work.
yeah,
But let's say, she's not too pretty. Okay, maybe she's got great boobs. So I'm going to focus on her boobs. And I'm like, oh my God, look at this fucking melon. Oh, and you get just, you get pumped up about,
Yeah.
Or like, maybe she doesn't have boobs. She got a big butt like you do. And you're like, oh my goodness, look at that. And I mean, and you don't necessarily, gonna go and touch it,
yeah,
but you just look at it and be like, oh fuck, it's like,
Yeah.
you start like fantasizing about it, and you will always find something, in my opinion, you always find something that you like. It could be the lips, maybe some guys are into toes.
oh,
Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many options, but I mean, if you're the kind of guy that it just like, give up right away and be like, oh, I don't like these girls. And I'm like, dude, listen, fucking pretty girls, it's so easy. It's so easy. Right? We all want to fuck like the hottest girls. It's, it's fucking the girls that are not that hot, I'm usually, I find myself that I don't like super attractive girls, they don't really do anything for me, but I like them all. I'm probably lucky. I don't have, a lot of people ask me, oh, what's your favorite? You like, Latinas, you like Asian, you like, brunette. I like them all. I like them all, and I will always find something that I like about a girl. It's so, it will be so hard, I don't think, it would be so hard for me to be like, oh, there's anything that, there's nothing that I like about you.
That's right. So, but you like cars,
Yeah.
right? So tell me what kind of collection do you have? What's your top cars? What are you into?
So when I moved here, one thing about like U.S., about like, it's very like, especially the economy here, it's just like, it's fast and it's always like growing and changing. I got into auctions right away. So I started like, I was like, oh fuck, I always liked cars. So I was like, let me get into it, So I started like going to auction, any kind of auction. I started like, with like impounds, like, which is very like, I didn't have a lot of money when I come here. I was like kind of broke. So you want like the cheapest car, you can get, you get it at the impound, police auction, So a car that has been impounded, for whatever reason, it can be like registration,
Drugs.
Driving, whatever. It could be like, you park in the wrong place. You don't go get your car after like, after a while, like some people, they cannot, after like probably 3-4 days, like the amount of money they ask you, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they're like, you know what? Keep that fucking shit. Like they have a shitty car, they're like, I don't know, it wasn't worth nothing. So they, after like, let's say a month, they put a lien on the car and they sell it through an auction. So that's how I started. And then I started like, I've always like a little bit like, to work with my hands. So I started like fixing the cars and reselling it, and then after that I used to buy, like insurance auction a lot, which is you can find way better cars. You can find like very nice cars, but they're like, they need work. Usually insurance auction, they're salvage cars,
Yeah.
so you gotta fix them up. Or just, mostly I buy from privates, privates, cars that need work. And by now I have my, few guys, like trusted guys that do work for me, for a good price, whether it's like the mechanic, the guy that it's focused on transmission, the guy that does body work, anything, tinting, tires, whatever it is. So I move like, maybe anywhere from like 6 to 12 car a month, just,
Oh wow.
yeah. Just it's easy for me. So it's something that I never. And some months, like I said, sometimes I take breaks and I don't, But usually, I have to stay off my phone. If I'm on my phone, if I'm on OfferUp, on Facebook, I have to,
You
I
might
have
buy
to stay
something.
off my phone. Yeah, it's I can help.
But what's your dream car? What or do you have it already?
I like Ferraris. I buy a lot of German cars.
Oh, okay.
I like Mercedes a lot. I buy a lot of Mercedes, Porsche. Those are like, I think the two brands that I buy the most. So by now I know all the major problem they have. So when the seller is, getting rid of the car because maybe he has a transmission problem, engine problem, they probably went to the mechanic and they said, okay, you need like $5,000, and for me it's way cheaper, So usually German cars,
Nice.
Mercedes, Porsche,
BMW.
BMW, yeah.
So you've always had this hobby, or did this start when you came to LA?
Oh, I've always had hobbies for cars. Like I always loved cars, but in Italy we don't have, we don't have auctions. We don't have access.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when I moved here, I was like, I kind of like becoming like getting, more.
It's crazy how
Into it.
different it is in different
And
parts.
I pretty much I've learned like everything on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
I can I've done it. I swapped engine on my driveway many times.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I know who to call. Hold on.
And I learned like little by little. I learned on YouTube. I bought a couple of books. So you start like with basic stuff, changing parts, which is the easy part. It's changing parts. Oh, that's broken. I gotta.
But I thought the German cars were hard to do that on, right?
No.
The BMWs is no.
Well, I don't like especially like let's talk about Mercedes. BMW. I'm not a big fan of BMWs, but Mercedes. I mean, there's a lot of misconception about cars like Mercedes, like Volkswagen. Everybody thinks like, Volkswagen are so expensive. Parts are so expensive. Like, who says who? Like, what do you know about cars? To begin with, you don't know. You're saying someone that, something that somebody told you, but I mean, you don't know if it's true. No, I mean Mercedes can be expensive. Like if you don't know what you're doing.
If you're going straight to the dealer.
This is a place where people like the first place they go. It's a dealer.
Yeah.
I mean, the dealer is gonna kill you for sure.
Yeah.
That's how they make money. They don't make money selling cars.
Yeah.
They make money service.
Yeah.
That's why you go to the dealer and you start like negotiating, and there's some people good at negotiating. You're gonna get like $5,000 discount.
Yeah.
Because they know like okay,
You'll be
okay.
back.
Oh yes, you will.
You too much,
Yes, you
buddy.
will.
They don't know that we shortened this a little.
Yes, you will. Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of like there's a lot of dirty people in the industry.
I've been around
Yeah.
that.
Mechanic.
True.
That's why if you don't know what you're doing, stay away.
Oh, 100%.
Stay away. I've seen a lot of people overbeating cars and get crazy, especially the impound. That was fun because impound anybody can buy. Insurance auction you have to go through a broker or you have to have a dealer license. But impounds you can go tomorrow, and bid, right?
Ah.
So there's like all these guys, they think they're doing the best deal of their life, like for that 89 Toyota Camry. They're like, oh yeah, 1,000, 2,000.
Oh my God.
They got a lemon.
There's so many shady mechanics. I remember I had a GT Mustang, and the person that had it before me was like a person that used to work on cars. So they kind of souped it up as like a Cobra Mustang too. But oh my God, that car gave me so many issues. As the miles went up. But I remember one time I went to a mechanic, and I was like, I need an oil change. Not oil change, I'm sorry. I need my spark plugs changed or whatever. And so he's like, all right, well, I'm going to have to charge you this amount because I have to remove the tires, lift it up, and do all this stuff. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So my car breaks down maybe like a month or so after I get it. And I'm like, I tow it. And I'm like, yeah, I just had the spark plug changed, all this. And they're like, no, you haven't. These spark plugs are old as hell. And he's pointing to the top of the car. I'm like, no, they're under the car. He goes, no, they're right here. And I was like, yo, I gave that guy like $350. Like, so, yeah, you got to be, that's good advice.
So many. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's true. 90% of the mechanics, if you're a woman, they will fuck you so hard.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a problem, you know, come to Car Daddy.
I'm so done with you. What would my car be considered, an Audi? Where is that from? Is that Germany?
Germany.
Oh, okay. That's Germany too. Okay, I didn't know that. I love Audis. They're a little overpriced here.
Audi. She doesn't know where it's from.
I really didn't. But you know what? It was so cute when I saw it. I was like, that's her. That's her. So
that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that was.
For a woman. It's cute.
It's so cute. I mean, I had an ugly car before that. So, you know, I was humble for like 6 years. It was time to like, go big or go home.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit more about fighting. Was that a hobby that, do you fight or do you just watch it?
No, I've trained, you know, I fought a few times, you know, like amateur when I was in Italy, boxing. I used to train pretty consistently. But one thing about boxing, you know, I knew right away that I could have never been a fighter. You know, I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. And you know right away when you walk in a boxing gym, and you know that, especially the way it's in Italy, it's almost like a school. You know, when you go to boxing, you have to go, like, you know, they want you to go 5 days a week, you know, if you want to fight, especially. You know, I remember, like, you know, my boxing coach. He didn't know my name for like 6 months.
Oh my God.
You know, and I know he was doing it on purpose just to test me. You know, like, you know, I was always you. You know, okay, you and Mike go do this. You and I was like, what the fuck? 6 months, bro. Didn't know my name, and it was kind of like, you know, testing me and see. Okay, let's see how long this guy lasts. You know?
Yeah.
It was like every day, like 6:30, you know, for I think like an hour and a half, you go there, and the guy, you know, like, will ask you, like, okay, you want to fight? You want to? Okay, yeah. So that's, you know, that's a different type of training. So you have to do some medical tests, and then I remember he's like, so I'll tell you this in kilos because you know, I can, you know, say in pounds, but I was like. My fight class was supposed to be 81 kilos. So let's say 180 pounds, something like that. So I was way lighter when I, you know, thanks to America, I gained that extra.
Good old America.
50 pounds or something.
We're all there with you.
But so the guy wanted me to be like always close to weight, you know. So every day we're like, okay, go on that scale.
Oh, God.
You know, if you fight 81, he doesn't want you to be more than 85 or 84 probably, you know. So you're like 85, like, oh, okay, I see you don't want to fight. What do you mean? 85, you don't want to fight? Okay, that's fine. Go run. You know, like, and that kind of like motivates us, like, oh fuck, I want to fight. Yeah. You know, like, you know, so I gotta keep like eating healthy, I can party because, I mean, it's not gonna be like, oh, Monday, I'm not coming, you know, today. No. Like, you know, they want consistency. Yeah. So they don't want excuses. So after a while, I love food. I love pussy. I love partying. I was smoking, and I was like, oh my God, this is not for me. But I can be a great, like, you know, it was never my dream, though. Yeah. It was never I was, you know, it wasn't, but I love training. but I never had that desire, that fire, in me. I have so many friends, like professional fighters, amateur, and I can see they have that fire, inside them, that it's not, they can't they just, they can't control it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're aggressive, Actually, all my friends, that like professional, they're like they're so chill. They're so, you can tell in their eyes. You can tell. You can't fuck with them.
But they don't have to show that. They don't have to post
they have the aura around them.
That's why the big dogs don't bark. The little dogs are the ones that bark.
Yeah.
I used to train with John McCarthy. I did my jiu-jitsu with him for 5 years up in Valencia up here. And he popped my shoulder out one time. That's a big dude.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, I like that guy.
I met him a couple of times.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He's huge.
And you've done that too, right?
I trained jiu-jitsu for a little bit, 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu, and I did a little bit of gi. I've never been a fan of like jiu-jitsu with the gi.
I'm sorry, what's the gi?
The gi is,
it's like a kimono.
Oh, okay.
and you can choke guys out with using it too. So there's different leverages. You can pull them.
It's almost like wrestling, but with submissions.
Oh.
So yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's intense. Oh,
Do you ever shoot scenes that involves any of this, like boxing or with the gi or whatever?
I know.
You would never do that?
No.
Come out in a robe.
He likes to keep the passion separate. No food, no gi, no none of that.
No
stuff.
cars? You never did one in a car? In a fancy car or on top of a car?
Not on a fancy. On top of the car, no. Fuck, no.
No, you won't.
They're not getting on
all
top
of a sudden
of.
it caves in.
They're not getting on top of my car.
Gonna have to have an.
Every time I see a girl on a hood, like whether it's a photo shoot or like I start like
cringing
inside. I cry. I'm like, get your fat ass out of it. Beautiful ass, beautiful body out of that fucking car.
You're denting the hood.
So let me know, is it like difficult being the stallion you are and, hooking up with girls, trying to date? Like,
I mean, first of all, I mean, I'm, obviously I don't consider myself a stallion, but I'm just a regular guy, I mean, performer, just a regular guy. You just like, sometimes you're better at certain things because you want it, because you put your mind into it. It's just I can't play piano, but I mean if you can play piano it's probably because you wanted to, and it's hard, so everything has its own process, you have to want it, you have to train hard, you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key in everything. But dating, especially dating civilians, oh my god, it's so hard. I mean, civilians. I'm always like, I mean, if I meet a girl, I'm like, hey, what do you do? Oh, I deal cards. I sell cards. I will never say, I don't say that. If I say I'm a performer, it's over. For girls, it's not. Guys, they think, oh my god, it's like a fucking free sex card or something. You go to the girl and be like, I'm a performer. Oh yeah, here, fuck me. No, girls, they're like,
you get jealous.
Oh, you're a performer? Oh, that's gross. That's disgusting. Don't touch me, with, what I'm saying?
Or, a lot of girls, they can be jealous too, like, because they don't understand, like, unless you meet somebody who's just really open, like, some people are just like, some people, if they're not in the industry, and they're probably like, well, damn, no, you probably are catching feelings for all these girls you're fucking, you're going to be a little player, stuff like that,
is not catching feelings. They think it's catching STDs. They're like, true. Oh my god, that's disgusting. I heard. Everybody's like, when somebody start like a sentence with "I heard," they're saying something stupid. Oh, I heard a lot of like STDs. You can get this, you can get that. I was like, when was the last time you got tested? I don't need to. Oh, it was a long time ago. Shut the fuck up.
5 years ago.
You got tested 14 days. And I'm pretty sure, you're like a bigger slug than I am.
No, that's so true. I always say that there's such a misconception and people don't realize how much everybody's getting tested.
Oh.
And I mean, but all these other people, the civilians, they're all on like Tinder or whatever is there,
Yeah.
you know, and those are hookup sites, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it's pretty funny how it is on that judgment is there. But I'm glad you call them out and kind of ask those questions.
Yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, what is these all like? I mean, you know, there's certain these. I mean, they're not even disease, like, you know, sex. It's like a certain like infection that you can get, whatever. You know, like, I mean, they're treated just like a fucking cold. You know what I'm saying? You can get a cold, you can get anything. You know, I mean, that then doesn't mean necessarily that, you know.
You're meaning there's just a lot of stigma around stuff. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, it's like, you know, I mean, like a chlamydia is not. I don't think it's worse than, you know, like a fucking, like a cold. You know what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
it's curable. You're like it's curable.
Okay, I mean, you get a fucking antibiotic, you know, it's done. You know
And
what I'm
you're
saying?
good.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, you know, for the people, I get tested. We will know. We get tested every 2 weeks. We get tested.
And they'll shut down the whole industry if something does come up.
No, I mean,
Well, don't they with those?
only for HIV.
Oh,
Only for
okay.
HIV.
Okay.
But HIV, I think it's something that it's more common for crossover or you know, maybe like, you know, gay performers. Not necessarily, but I mean, I'm talking about, like, you know, because you're talking about moratorium.
Yeah.
I would say probably 8 out of 10 of those moratorium we had, like, you know, in the years, they were probably, you know, gay performers. I mean, you know, it's also a couple times, I think a few years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, a girl got HIV from her boyfriend. They were both performers, but I think her boyfriend was crossover. But it's rare, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, listen, you know, it's, if you're careful, you know, if you know, it's like you know what you're eating, you know?
Yeah.
You know what you're fucking, you're not gonna get. You
Yeah.
know? I'm like, I don't fuck around.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I'm not, I'm careful.
Yeah.
I should, you know, I work or I shoot content, but I don't go clubbing and, you know, and fuck the first girl that comes around, like, especially with no condom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck around, but usually I don't. The girls that I fuck are always tested,
Yeah.
and vice versa. So I'm very careful. That means that will never happen. You know, probably I can get an STD. Probably.
Yeah.
You know, I never got an STD.
But I mean, that's a
So
risk
far.
for everybody that has sex.
So far I never got an STD. So, you know, maybe I get one tomorrow. It's fine. I'm gonna go to Dr. Riggs. You know, hey, Dr. Riggs, bye. You know, for who doesn't know, Dr. Riggs is like the doctor of the porn industry
Oh, is
forever.
he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know him.
You know, if someone from the industry is listening, everybody knows Dr. Riggs. He's this old guy. He's been training the porn industry forever. You go there,
Really?
whatever you have, here, a Z-Pack. You have a cold, Z-Pack. You have a
Oh.
chlamydia, Z-Pack. Your tour, Z-Pack.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah.
I have to meet this Mr. Riggs. Does he
Oh.
ever come to the shows or anything?
We should bring him here.
Yeah.
on the podcast.
I would love to talk to him. That would be fucking fantastic.
So Romeo, is there any girls in the industry that you haven't worked with that you think you would like to? Is there any goals?
So many. There's so many.
Drop some names.
There are so many girls in this industry and there are so many new girls that it's really hard, like, you know, to perform with everybody. But I mean, I think you know, most of the girls that I wanted to perform with, I've already done it. You know what's the thing? So my side are, one, it's BJ. You know, like I say, includes rimming and facial. The other side, it's cream pies. Cream pies, it means, you know, when you come inside, you know, and it's full sex. So girls and guys, they have their own boundaries, right? So many girls don't do cream pies. they're not on, you know, they don't take, you know, the
Birth
pills
control.
or whatever, you know, like they don't do cream pie. Whether it's a choice, whether it's, you know, whatever. There are some girls don't do rimming. There's some girls don't do anal.
Yeah.
There's some girls they don't do facial. You know, believe it or not. But so that means that sometimes, you know, I want to work with a girl, but I can't book her because she doesn't do what I'm shooting. You know, so or girls that are like, you know, under contract. You know, with other like there's some big names like Brazzer, for instance, or Reality Kings, Vixen.
Yeah.
They do contracts.
Yeah.
So they get the best girls. And they're like, you know, like kind of like a greedy motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you under contract. You're going to be mine.
Like Luna Star and Veronica
White.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. You know, there's so many girls, you know, that they're like, you know, exclusive contract. So they can't shoot for anybody else but those companies. So that kind of like, you know.
Limits.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So you got anybody you want to call out though? Any girls you want to call out?
What about any celebrity? Is there any celebrity that you would, if you in your fantasy that you'd wanna?
Oh God. I used to like a lot Eva Mendes.
Oh,
She
she went to school at Glendale High.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I have her yearbook picture. To be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
Wait, how do you have her? You went to
because
high school?
my friend went with her, and they were good friends growing up. And I said, let me see a yearbook, and she brought it in, and I said, I took a picture. I said, no way, and she signed it the whole nine. That was her bud, and she's hot. Who's she? She's married to somebody, huh? She's married to somebody famous.
I don't remember.
Gosling.
Oh, is she?
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah, she is.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I remember them in that movie together. He's fine as hell, too. Damn.
Oh, that's yours. That's yours.
She did some great movies.
So we'll get Eva and her husband in here, and then we'll figure something out.
Yeah. Orgy.
Knock it off. Yeah, too funny. So, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Do you have any like goals, or are you just kind of just?
I'm trying, you know, I'm just trying to get better and better at what I do, making more money, you know, and hopefully, like in maybe like 5 to 10 years, just fucking retire, you know, and do nothing. That's what I
Where do you see yourself
Build some
retiring
cars?
at? Is it LA?
No, I love traveling, so I'm probably, you know, partially LA. I love LA. But I would like to spend more time in Italy, especially during the summer. My dream life, I want to spend the whole. So I come from an island. It's a beautiful place where I come from, and it was just like too small for me. But vacation-wise, it's one of the nicest places in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the island?
Sardinia.
Sardinia.
Sardinia. It's the Italian name. Sardinia. And it's beautiful. It's so like I would love to be like there like June, July, and August, maybe September too. You know, like
Oh, nice.
just
Yeah,
fucking.
I know.
Oh, it's amazing.
'Cause I bet. I
You have
heard
no
great
idea.
wine, food. I mean, views.
Nude beaches.
Some of them are nude, yeah. But you know, like the beaches are fucking amazing. Like it's you know, just get on a boat or whatever. You know, the food is great. You know, like there's a lot of tourists, so it's, you know, it's like a party place as well. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I still haven't made it to Italy, but I know we have like some, you know, adult shows like in Barcelona and stuff. So I'm thinking about, you know, hopping right over there.
Yeah, I mean,
as it's close. When you're over there, it's like,
take
why
one
not?
plane,
yeah, that's when it's cheaper to travel once you're already there. Like fucking.
And in Europe, they have like cheap flights.
Yeah. I remember seeing that when I was going from Amsterdam to Prague. The flights were like $80. I was like, what? Once you're over there, it's like super
Ryanair,
cheap.
EasyJet, those are like...
Yeah, EasyJet. That's what I would take.
If you book it in advance, you can, like, let's say you book like a flight for, let's say, April, right? They're so cheap that you can book it. And even if you don't go, who cares? Like, you know, you can book like something for like $30. If you don't, you know, if you have something to do, like, you know, work or whatever, like, okay, I don't go, you know?
Yeah.
$30, you're like, fuck it, you can survive, you know what I'm saying?
That's so cheap. Isn't it crazy that it's that cheap when you're over there to travel like that?
Yeah.
You don't see that shit in the U.S. You are not going to fucking Texas for
No.
it. No, it's like never. And these are round trips. Yeah, like it's.
And I think going to Texas is not as nice, let's say, as like going from
absolutely
Italy
not.
to like Sweden or
Yeah.
or Spain or whatever. Like, yeah.
Where's your next place that you're traveling besides Italy?
I would love to go to Brazil and Japan. Brazil and Japan, it's like, I mean, fuck this COVID, man.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of it. you know?
Can you get over there right now?
I don't know. I
I
don't
wonder
know.
with the
I don't know
new-
if it's if it's smart to go there right now.
Yeah.
It's you don't never know. I mean, I want to go to Italy in February.
Yeah.
But now with this new,
The
variant or whatever,
whatever it's
I already heard like some countries are like closing the borders.
And Italy was hit hard a year ago.
Yeah.
They were hit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lockdown
yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Lockdown. That's why I didn't go. I didn't
Yeah,
go there
that
for like
was crazy there.
for
I
2
remember.
years. 2
Yeah.
years I didn't go because I was afraid to get stuck. If you go there and like now you can't leave.
Yeah.
Like
Was your family okay when?
Yeah,
they were.
they were
Okay.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, that lockdown was gnarly out there. I remember. I mean, and I didn't have an inside source, but from
Yeah.
what I saw, I was like,
crazy.
Jesus, yeah.
Because you couldn't leave the house.
Yeah, I saw, and because I watch the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and Teresa, she's was born in Italy, and her husband was deported back there, and so he was I follow them, and he was posting about like, damn, in the house again,
Yeah.
can't like just like losing his
alright.
mind. I was like, damn, like it was gnarly.
You could leave the house only for if you go to the supermarket, and to the doctor's appointment. That's it.
That's the crazy thing is like, in America, we're in a bubble.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I know that haven't traveled, don't know people in other places, they kind of think that this is only happening here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, when I talk to people in Colombia and all this other stuff, I'm like, no, it's way worse. In Panama, they couldn't leave their houses either. It was like strict,
For so
like
long.
gnarly lockdowns.
I
Like,
mean, for me, the lockdown here wasn't that bad. I mean,
no, I mean we're spoiled here. We complain a lot. I mean, look, it still sucks because we're all like we're individualists here. We like to do what the fuck we want.
Yeah.
But it ain't nothing like in other places like Panama. I heard that women couldn't even leave their house. So if you were a single woman, like you had to ask somebody to go to the store for you. It was like gnarly shit like that. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I wish we had a lockdown in LA again because traffic was so much better.
oh my god,
So
No,
much
it
bigger
was.
when the lockdown.
You know what? I saved a lot of money too. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at my bank account like, damn, I haven't went out.
yeah,
to
but I
eat.
gained like 15 pounds.
Oh, that's
so-
me every other month.
Yeah,
I'm just
well-
like, I drop it, then it's back. I'm like, the hell? Just went out for a few drinks.
I don't drop it. I just gain.
Well, you look good. You look
Yeah,
good.
thank
So. Well, I want to thank you for coming out. Can you let everybody know where to find you at? Like, shout out your Instagram. Or...
Website?
My Instagram is Romeo Mancini, and my Twitter is Romeo Mancini XXX.
All right. Well, you know where to find him. And thank you guys for listening. This is Itsmii Unlocked. It's your girl, Jasmine.
And I'm the man with the buttery voice, the number one choice to keep all the ladies moist. Have a good night.